solution of one-dimensional heat equation by the method of separation of variables. First of all, one-dimensional heat equation is dou u by dou t is equal to alpha square into dou square u by dou x square. Here we can take alpha square or a square or c square. Okay. Now, here we have dou u by dou t. Therefore, u is a function of t, and here we have dou square u by dou x square. Therefore, x and t. Let u is equal to xt be the solution of this heat equation. Take that heat equation as equation number 1. Therefore, be the solution of equation number 1, where caps x is a function of small x and caps t is a function of small t. Okay. Now, the derivative of u with respect to x is x dash t, and the second derivative of u with respect to x can be denoted by x double dash t. Now, dou u by dou t can be expressed as x t dash. Okay. Now, substituting these two values in equation number 1. Therefore, we will get, substituting in equation number 1, that is in the one-dimensional heat equation, we get x t dash is equal to alpha square into x double dash t. X t dash is equal to alpha square into x double dash t. Now, separating the variables, we get x double dash by x. Okay, cross multiplying. X double dash by x is equal to 1 by alpha square t dash by t. Okay, put it as equation number 2. Here clearly left hand side of equation number 2 is a function of x only, small letter x only, and right hand side is a function of small letter t only. Since x and t are, small letter x and small letter t are independent variables, equation 2 can hold if each side is equal to some constant k. Okay, I am taking k, therefore I wrote say. Here left hand side is a function of x only and the right hand side is a function of t only. Therefore, these two can hold, or since x and t are independent variables, equation 2 can hold if each side equal to some constant k. That is x double dash by x is taken as k, and t dash by t into 1 by alpha square is taken as k. Take it as equation number 3 and here it as equation number 4. Now, from equation number 3 we have x dash is equal to k into x, or x double dash can be written as d square x by d small x square. Since x is a function of small x, derivative will be d square x by dx square is equal to kx. Okay, that is d square x by dx square minus kx equal to 0. Now in the place of, now this represents linear differential equation. Now we can represent this d square by dx square as caps d square, therefore caps d square x minus k into x is equal to 0, or we can take x outside, that is d square x, sorry d square into k, sorry d square minus k into x is equal to 0. But these equations represents linear differential equations, or we can say that it represents homogeneous linear differential equation because the right hand side is 0. Now, to find the solution, we will form the auxiliary equation. For that, we will put d equal to m. Okay, so that this equation becomes m square minus k equal to 0. Take this as equation number 5. Now, from equation number 4, we have t dash is equal to k into alpha square into t. By cross multiplying, we get k into alpha square into t, or again t dash minus k alpha square t equal to 0. This represents homogeneous linear differential equation. Again, this can be written as t dash is dt by d small letter t minus k alpha square into t equal to 0. That is, now this also represents homogeneous linear differential equation. To find out the solution, we will put d by dt equal to caps d. D is equivalent to d by dt. Okay. Therefore, dt minus k alpha square t equal to 0, or we have caps d minus k alpha square into t equal to 0. Okay, these equations represents, these all equations represents homogeneous linear differential equation. To find the solution part, we will find out first of all the auxiliary equation. Auxiliary equation is obtained by putting d equal to m and omitting this t term. Therefore, we have m minus k alpha square equal to 0. Put it as equation number 6. Now the solution of the above equations depends on value of k. Depends on the value of this k. The possibilities are this k can be positive, k can be negative, k can be 0. So we will take each case first of all when k is positive. Take k as, let k is equal to lambda square. Now substituting in equation number 5. Equation number 5 is m square minus k equal to 0. Substituting in the equation, we will get m square minus lambda square equal to 0, which implies m square equal to lambda square, or we have m is equal to square root of lambda square, which is equal to plus or minus lambda. Therefore, we have two roots. First one is m1, that is lambda positive, and m2 minus lambda. For homogeneous linear differential equations, if we have two distinct roots, we have two roots, it is real and distinct, then the corresponding general solution or complementary function can be written as c1 e raised to m1x plus c2 e raised to m2x. Using that, we can write here the general solution or the complementary function as c1 e raised to m1 is lambda, therefore lambda x, plus c2 e raised to m2 is minus lambda, that is minus lambda x. The general solution means x equal to, here x is equal to c1 lambda x plus c2 e raised to minus lambda x. Now substituting in equation number 6 to obtain the value of or the solution of t. There we have the equation was m minus k lambda square equal to 0. Now substituting we will get m minus lambda square alpha square equal to 0, which implies m is equal to lambda square alpha square into lambda square. Here we have only one root. Therefore, the general solution or the complementary function can be written as t equal to, okay, c1 e raised to m1t. Okay, here we have already used c1 and c2, therefore here we can take c3, then m3. Okay, therefore that is c3 into the only one root is lambda square alpha square, therefore e raised to alpha square lambda square t. Therefore caps t, the solution of caps t is c3 e raised to alpha square lambda square t. Now u of xt is caps x into caps t, isn't it? The place of caps as we can write c1 e raised to lambda x plus c2 e raised to minus lambda x, and in the place of t we can write c3 e raised to alpha square lambda square t. Now case 2, that is when k is negative. When k is negative, that is when k is equal to, or here we can take k is equal to minus lambda square. Okay, here also first of all substituting in equation number 5. Equation number 5 is m square minus k equal to 0, which implies m square minus lambda square equal to 0, which implies m square plus lambda square is equal to 0, which implies m square is equal to minus lambda square, or we have m is equal to square root of minus lambda square. For square root of minus 1 we have I, therefore this is equal to plus or minus I into lambda. Here we have complex roots, that is first root is m1 is equal to I into lambda and m2 is equal to minus I into lambda. If this homogeneous linear differential equations have complex roots, that is of the form m is equal to alpha plus or minus I beta, Then we'll write the complementary function or the general solution as e raised to alpha x c1 cos beta x plus c2 sin beta x. In this case, we have alpha s here. Again, this can be written as 0 plus or minus I lambda. Therefore, we have alpha is 0 and beta equal to lambda. Therefore, the general solution or the complementary function of this x can be written as e raised to 0x. Here, we have already used C1, C2 and C3. Therefore, here we can take C4 cos in the place of beta lambda x plus C5 sin in the place of beta we can take lambda x. Now e raised to 0x is already know it is equal to 1. Therefore here we have x is equal to C4 cos lambda x plus C5 sin lambda x. Okay. Now substituting in equation number 6, that is m minus k alpha square equal to 0. That is m minus, here k is negative lambda square, therefore minus lambda square alpha square equal to 0, which implies m is equal to lambda square alpha square. Okay, I'm sorry, m is equal to minus lambda square alpha square. Again, here m plus lambda square alpha square equal to 0. Therefore, m is equal to minus lambda square alpha square. Here we have only one root, that is a real root. Therefore, the general solution or complementary function can be written as t equal to now c6 e raised to that m t, that is minus lambda square alpha square into t. Actually, the general solution will be of this form: c1 or c e raised to m t. Instead of x, we have t. Therefore, we have c6 e raised to in the place of m minus lambda square alpha square into t. Now, u of xt is gaps xt, where x is c4 cos lambda x plus c5 sin lambda x into t is c6 e raised to minus alpha square lambda square t. Okay, this is the case when lambda is negative. Now we will move to case 3. In case 3, we can take k as 0. K is 0. Here, substituting the value of k is equal to 0 in equation number 5. Substituting, we get, substituting in m square minus k equal to 0, which implies m square minus 0 equal to 0, which implies m square equal to 0, which implies m is equal to, we have two roots for this m, that is 0 and 0. Therefore, the case is that here for this general equation, homogeneous linear differential equation, we have two roots, that is equal. If we have two equal roots, then the general solution or the complementary function is taken as c1 plus c2 x into e raised to that root mx. m1 and m2. Two roots are equal to one root m. Therefore, we will take c1 plus c2x e raised to mx. Therefore, here we will take x as we have brought up to c6. Therefore, it is c7 plus c8x e raised to, in the place of m we have 0x. Therefore, it is equal to c7 plus c8x. Okay. Now we have substituting in Equation number 6. To obtain the solution of T, that is m minus k alpha square equal to 0, which implies m minus 0 into alpha square equal to 0, which implies m equal to 0. Here we have only one root where the complementary function or the general solution can be written as t equal to c1 or c e raised to mx. Therefore, here we have the solution. We can write the solution as t equal to, already we have written up to c8. Therefore, c9 e raised to 0x, isn't it? That is equal to c9 only. So, e of xt equal to caps xt equal to, in the place of caps x we have c7 plus c8x. Then in the place of t we have c9. Therefore, we can write all the three equations. Therefore, the possible solutions of the heat equation are: first one, when k is positive, it is c1 e raised to lambda x plus e2 e raised to minus lambda x into c3 e raised to alpha square lambda square t. Now, second case, that is when k is negative, c4 cos lambda x, c5 sin lambda x into c6 e raised to minus alpha square lambda square into t. Now the third case, that is u of xt equal to c7x plus c8 into c9. Okay, of these three solutions, we have to choose that solution which is consistent with the physical nature of the problem. Here, we can say that when u decreases, since we are dealing with heat equation problems, here u represents the temperature of a bar. Since u decreases as time t increases, the suitable solution of the heat equation is the second one, that is u of xt equal to c4 cos lambda x plus c5 sin lambda x into c6 e raised to minus alpha square lambda square t, or generally in the place of c4, c5 and c6 we can write, it is here, if I am multiplying c4 into c6, that will give only one constant, that is a cos lambda x plus, instead of this c5 and c6 we can write b sin lambda x into the term e raised to minus alpha square lambda square t, which represents the solution of this one-dimensional heat equation by the method of separation of variables.